we are now. Elon has +1 to CEO titles.
Yeah.
So
we jump right into it.
yeah, he walked in to Twitter last week. What was it? Wednesday, I think. 16th. I think I have it on the show notes. Did I actually put that on the show notes? No, I didn't put it on the show notes. Of course I did.
Yeah, I think it was like last Wednesday. I guess no. Thursday. It was
at
Thursday
night too.
Yeah.
I just remember scrolling through Twitter and all of a sudden I just see something from Elon where it goes like, it's like, I'm in the Twitter HQ. Let that sink in. And I'm like, and I don't like you anymore, Elon. But oh my gosh, that was funny.
With the sink.
I'm like, I don't want to laugh, but I will laugh at that.
Yeah, that was a very good, I guess, in-person pun, if you will. Also, super dad joke.
It's.
I mean,
he had
he's a super
He
dad.
had his kid with him too at the same time, which makes it even more. Yes, it is a dad joke.
Super dad joke.
So that now adds. It doesn't really affect SpaceX a lot, but it does at the same time. Like, so
you're talking about not the sink. We're talking about the acquisition.
Who knows? That sink might have. Maybe that sink now is at SpaceX somewhere.
Yeah.
I think maybe he just dropped it on Parag's like desk. Like, you're fired. But. So Elon took over Twitter. This deal's been going on for like months now, and finally happened. I guess we were kind of thinking like whether or not it would happen or not, but it's the 28th was kind of the deadline. He's now the CEO of Twitter.
Yep.
He's CEO of SpaceX, CEO of Tesla. I don't think he holds CEO titles at Boring Company or Neuralink, but I know he's like very involved there too as well.
Yeah.
So that's a lot of time split. Like, he's been spending pretty much since Thursday. He's been doing a lot of time.
Yeah, like nonstop Twitter.
And between friends, I used to be a software engineer. So when you're a software engineer and you've been at a couple companies, you kind of end up having friends at like every major tech company.
Yep.
And so it's a dumpster fire there right now.
I'm sure.
It went from a very fairly laid back environment to this is gonna be done in a week, and I don't care how much hours of OT you put into it, you're gonna get it done.
Yep.
So it's
uncomfortable.
Yeah,
to say the least.
It's a little uncomfortable. It's like now. So how does it affect SpaceX? I guess the biggest question is it does and it doesn't. It doesn't as in like there's nothing that SpaceX is going to gain from Elon being the CEO of Twitter and owning Twitter. However,
they have a lot to lose.
They do have.
That's how I feel.
I feel like
Tesla and also SpaceX and any other sub companies that sort of fall under them, or any of the smaller companies like Boring. I just feel like every one of those kind of takes a hit, especially with any controversy. That the problem with Twitter versus like SpaceX is the political side of it, right? It's a political dumpster fire. Like,
he can do one thing wrong, and it like, I mean, he's already to be honest, he's already done some he's already been spouting a lot of Russian and Chinese propaganda that brings a lot of concern for the DoD side of things, for looking into something, because that's a security risk if he's actually kind of enemies of not necessarily enemies of the United States, but people who the United States doesn't really like, and he's kind of pro them, and he's also the CEO of we've talked about a few episodes, a defense contractor. SpaceX is a defense contractor, so you can't really be involved with Russia and China that way. When you're with them.
But it's funny because, and not to get too deep in this, and we got a lot of space news to get to, so I don't want to weigh in this too long. But when he does something on the Twitter side, and it affects obviously the defense contracts of SpaceX. But now he's also trying to roll cars out into, let's say, China. Like it's this cascading effect of
I remember listening to Kara, that's the big thing on Kara Swisher's podcast. I'm a big Kara Swisher listener, and she's like, it's like, what's the problem with of free speech being on Twitter? But when it's anti-China, and now he's the CEO of Tesla, and China's really big in Tesla, the CCP might have some issues with that.
It's got a lot of cascading effects, I think.
The biggest effect now is Elon's time is going to be separated a lot now from SpaceX. Right now, I mean, a lot of his time was split just between Tesla and SpaceX. Now it's going to be split between Tesla, SpaceX, and Twitter, because those are the three biggest companies he has. Obviously, I think Twitter could be, Tesla's probably the biggest, and then it's probably Twitter, then SpaceX.
But I feel like at least in some regards, on somewhere in the universe, Tesla and SpaceX have like common goals and common grounds of
Twitter is just kind of
making things better, in life, and pushing technology ahead. And human progress.
Making humanity better.
Right, yeah, where Twitter is literally the polar opposite of that. Twitter is literally what people like to call a water cooler, which is actually just like more of like a cesspool where everybody drinks like green slime. That's literally what it is.
It's a cesspool of anti.
But go follow us on Twitter.
Go follow us on Twitter, please, or LinkedIn, or TikTok, or anywhere else.